Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynic Alex. Welcome to 2019. Happy New Year. And today I wanted to look ahead at the next 12 months of Marvel Future Fight content and basically give my wish list of updates that they could bring to the game. Now, I'm not going to try to name a lot of them because that would be kind of confusing and long and maybe a bit boring. So I just narrowed it down to 3 massive updates that I think could bring a ton of new players in. It could make a ton of existing players super happy, and it would just hit on big themes and big characters and big names in Marvel that I know so many of you, millions of fans out there, just desperately want in this game. And I know I've always said we have too many Barbies and we need game modes, so I try to incorporate game modes with these ideas, but there are no game modes if there are no characters, so you kind of have to weigh those one against the other. Now, the first one that I want to bring up is one that you guys have probably already thought of, especially if you watch other types of YouTubers for other types of Marvel games, or if you perhaps play other Marvel games other than Marvel Future Fight, and it is a Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Doctor Doom, Galactus themed update. Now, this one has basically been requested by the community for the last few years at minimum. This is on the level of things like Scarlet Witch, Spider-Woman, Deadpool, just things that we never thought we were going to get, and lo and behold, we've gotten most of them, so why not stop there? Why stop there? Why not aim higher? Additionally, Marvel Contest of Champions, as I've hinted, is getting Silver Surfer and presumably the Fantastic Four as well, as kind of indicated by the end of the teaser trailer. By the way, if you haven't watched and listened to the entire teaser trailer, holy shit, even if you're not a Marvel Contest of Champions fan, I really have to give it up. Whoever worked on that trailer, I don't know, that thing, it's beautiful. It's a masterpiece, and if Marvel Future Fight got something like that, I would be over the moon and into the stars, overjoyed. But how exactly could we get Silver Surfer and the Fantastic Four and possibly Doctor Doom and Galactus in this game? Well, the easiest way would be to design it around an epic quest like Strife, like Jean Grey. However, from the timing, it is a bit awkward because on the one hand, the 4-year anniversary, the number 4, guys, the 4-year anniversary of Marvel Future Fight is coming at the end of April, which is in about 4 or 5 months. However, that is also coinciding with Infinity War Part 2, the Avengers Endgame. Additionally, both of the epic quests that we have, ignoring Doctor Strange, but the other 2 epic quests that we've gotten more recently, the Jean Grey one landed in June, I believe, and then the Strife one landed even later, towards the end of August into September. Now, the Doctor Strange one was actually in October, the year prior to Jean Grey, so we haven't really seen anything in the first half of the year. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Epic quests appear to take several months to design and perfect, so I think even if Marvel Future Fight has already applied for a Fantastic Four Epic Quest update now, or maybe even in December, it may take until April or May for the Marvel executives and the team there, the kind of the brain heads behind that, Bill Roseman or whatever, to approve it and to get all the boxes ticked before we can see something like that. But they could do something along those lines. They could introduce Doctor Doom before the Fantastic Four, kind of how Cable was introduced way before Strife, and then that would be the native Tier 2, and then perhaps the Epic Quest could be for Silver Surfer, as usually the Epic Quest revolves around a hero kind of regaining their strength or kind of amassing their team in the case of Wolverine, or regaining their power in the case of Doctor Strange, or whatever, Deadpool, and then the Tier 2 Silver Surfer and the Tier 2 Doctor Doom would build up to Galactus or something like that. Alternatively, we could absolutely see Galactus take a bit more of a backseat, and rather than being a giant character shrunk down a la Dormammu, we could see a new giant boss raid with a different CTP reward, possibly destruction or energy, being introduced, featuring Galactus. He's got a lot of the same colors as Master Mold, so I don't think it would be a huge stretch to kind of put him into the game. It would be a super fun battle to have, possibly Galactus as the giant boss, with Silver Surfer coming in, or maybe some of the other heralds of Galactus. They could even do a regular Galactus and the new Lifebringer Galactus. I mean, there's so many ways they can kind of explore it. I think it would be wonderful, and I think more than any other game, it would look beautiful in Marvel Future Fight. So that is kind of my first big Wish update for 2019 from Marvel Future Fight. The second big Wish update is more of a rework or a revisit update, and this revolves around the Asgardians. We have this tribe in the game of Asgardian heroes and villains. It's a huge group of characters, more than 15, and for the most part, they suck. They're just plain straight up trash, or they're just semi-useful. But basically, outside of Thor, all of the other Asgardians are either functional or just kind of suboptimal. So you can use them, but you're sacrificing a lot of damage or you're sacrificing a lot of survivability. So we could see a massive Asgardian update, kind of like Infinity War, with a ton of new uniforms. Obviously, Odin hits immediately as a great option for a new uniform. You could give a new uniform to Sif, a new uniform for Hela, the Warriors 3, Hogun, Fandral, and Volstagg, especially Fandral. You could get a new uniform for Scourge and his sometimes girlfriend Enchantress, which could also sell some more bio subs, because Netmarble needs to make their money. My coworkers need to feed their families. You could have a new uniform for Ulik and Valkyrie, again another paywall, or even Heimdall. I mean, there's so many different ways. We can have the OG Heimdall from the comics with the gold helmet that we saw in the other older Thor movies, rather than the newer one from Ragnarok. So there's really a lot of ways they can go with it. They can also introduce a Asgardian GBR, because we have a lot of the existing content in the game right now, both in the story mode with some of the battles that you do against the kind of mega bosses like Surtur and the Ice Boy and all that kind of stuff, and the Midgard Serpent. They also have those same textures and those same character designs in the Alliance raid. So it would feel possibly like a bit of a copy and paste, but they could definitely do that. They could even bring some new villains, some new Asgardian villains in to fight. You could do like a giant destroyer boss or something like that. They could also, instead of doing GBR, they could just rework Alliance raid. Now, Netmarble, don't get me wrong, I like Alliance raid. I like your ideas for it, but it's really not difficult enough, and it really doesn't include anyone in your alliance. This is much more of a single player game mode, which is honestly kind of boring. It's been done over and over again, and it's a game mode that you do in 5 seconds and you forget about it. And honestly, a lot of people skip it nowadays because they don't feel like it's worthwhile in terms of the rewards versus the time and versus the amount of tokens you have to spend, because it's equivalent to 200,000 gold in terms of donation for the Alliance tokens. So they could rework Alliance Raid. They could have new bosses or the same bosses, but make them harder in terms of their HP. They could have a 3 Alliance mode where you invite 2 members of your Alliance. You each choose 1 character, and you go attack this new and improved and more challenging Alliance Raid boss. And then, of course, most of all, they could give us more and better rewards for Alliance Raid. That would be a wonderful way to tie in some actual content into the Asgardian update. Finally, they could introduce some new Asgardian characters. There aren't that many good ones left, but I know a lot of people want to see Thor alongside his Stormbreaker buddy, Beta Ray Bill. So I think that would be a fantastic new character to introduce, possibly as a bio sub, possibly as a regular, free-to-play farmable character. And also, you could squeeze in someone female like Brunhild to kind of round out the list. The final wish that I have for 2019's Marvel Future Fight updates, because I don't want to be too greedy, so I'm just going to go with 3 for today, is an X-Men update. We've had multiple X-Men updates now. We've had about 4 major X-Men updates, but none of them have featured heavily the villain side of things. Even one of the scariest and one of the most important X-Men villains of all time, Apocalypse, didn't really get much of a villain update. He was the only villain in his update, which is, kind of disappointing. So on top of possibly getting a uniform, on top of possibly other things, I would really like to see Magneto take the lead again as the kind of captain or the leader again of the Brotherhood of Mutants, and introduce just a whack of new mutants alongside him. You've got Mystique, Toad, Blob, you've got Pyro, Sabretooth, Juggernaut. These are titans of the X-Men villain arsenal and kind of rogues gallery fighting against the X-Men Academy, and we just don't have any of them in Marvel Future Fight, and it's kind of disappointing. It's a big kind of sore spot, because the X-Men are so beloved. I mean, pretty much every X-Men that comes into this game, sorry Nightcrawler, is an instant hit. And then you could even give uniforms for some of the existing Marvel characters to either make them villains like Rogue, keep them as villains Magneto, or something else entirely. In addition to the Brotherhood of Mutants, you could also just introduce more X-Men villains like Omega Red, who's in Marvel Contest of Champions, or Mr. Sinister, or Lady Deathstrike, or Mojo, or Azazel, because we now have his son, Nightcrawler. There's just a lot of untapped potential for the X-Men. It sells super well with bio subs and X-Gene subs, and it just makes for really fantastic hype updates that the community loves and that we can absolutely get behind basically any time, and it will give us more opportunities to use our feathers. So that's also another good thing for those of you that are capped out constantly. So those are my 3 big wish updates for 2019. Fantastic Four / Silver Surfer Galactus Doctor Doom, Asgardian update rework extra stuff, and then more X-Men mutant villain updates. I know Juggernaut's not a villain. Get off my ass. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know which 3 updates you would wish for. Leave your IGN, of course. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.